All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:32. It is October 29th. I hope everyone's feeling well. My name is Scott Redler. I am the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. This is the 6:30 Club. Try and get in here, give you guys some ideas, try and keep you guys grounded, try and give you, a little bit of a process and a routine to follow every morning so you could, stay sane and be prepared and get ready for the day. That's what we do here. And we try and stack days together to make money. We try and stack months together in order to make a living and do it with some fun, right? Anyway, so here we are. It is, again, it's Tuesday morning. Futures are pretty flattish. Everything's up or down small. I think, a lot of people like me for the past few weeks, I've been focusing on different sectors that have been working very well. I will have to say that Red Dog was all on top of Bitcoin for the past 3 weeks. 3 weeks ago, you remember, when Bitcoin was right here. Okay, as for fun, I talked about the turkey trot. Red Dog does a turkey trot every year. Has been doing it with his son Chase. Chase got the 5K world record at 8 years old. You want to Google it? It's pretty cool. Chase Redler back then. But anyway, started the turkey trot back on October 11th. I said usually I remember on Thanksgiving is when the mother-in-law, the cab driver, everyone in the world is talking about how awesome Bitcoin is, but they should have been in it in October up until Thanksgiving. But anyway, what a nice move. If you look here, on the daily chart, some people are like, well, it's too far, too fast. I'm like, well, you got to put things in perspective time frame wise. Bitcoin now is just entering this resistance zone, right? The 70 to 73.8 zone. So there was a lot of money to be made from here to there. So, but the question is for those who don't trade actively for a living like we do, that don't use a tier system and they've just been buying Bitcoin every month, they're looking at the weekly chart of Bitcoin and they're like, oh my goodness, Red Dog, this has done absolutely nothing. Like, look at this cup and handle pattern. It's friggin' beautiful, right? If this is a real cup and handle with 69,000 down to just make it easy, 70 down to 20. Usually it's like, the depth of the cup. So it's 50,000. You add 50,000 to 70, you're at 120,000. I'm not going that far. I'm just saying, hey, you come in a little bit closer here. We're trending up right back to where we were literally, by the halving. And chances are, if we do get a real move, we close above 74 and there's a squeeze and all the institutions that have been buying IBIT and this and that stay there. I'm thinking, you get a nice quick move. Realistically, I'm not going to be this crazy Bitcoin guy. I'm not saying they're crazy, congratulations for sticking with it. Why not get to 85K? And with that being said, there's been a heck of a lot of money to be made in all of the other names around it. So this is, if you go back to if you go to the monthly, the monthly has also, looks like it just got a bull flag breakout. If you go 53 to 73, that's 20,000. That takes you like 93. So listen, it's all steps in the process. And for me, I know my community, we've been making a lot of money on a lot of different types of names. So I've been listed. Back on that day when I came out with the Bitcoin trot, just for fun. Like, we have to have fun. We can't just, I was, long Mister, it's Power Play, Coors. It's been since like $10 in my open house. I was buying Coors at 10.50. Like, Red Dog, you like IPAs, not Coors Light. I'm like, this is Coors, CORZ. It's a different type of AI miner. And then the Wolf and Nara finally, had a little bit of a move yesterday. So if you go through some of them, it's been a nice group. When things trade in groups, you got to be really happy about it. This Coors has been awesome. This Coors kind of went prior to Bitcoin even breaking out. And Bitcoin evidence hasn't really broken out yet. So that was right here. That was around 1040, and we've been buying dips and staying with this trade. Lots of different ways. We sold puts, we bought options, and just basically stayed in the ETF. Wolf was a really good one too. That came on my radar, right around here, and wound up taking a little bit of pain, but getting to know it. And then right on this breakout was absolutely fantastic. And I've tried to give people more of a perspective with the weekly chart of Wolf, saying you can get to $10. Why not? That's where it was literally here. That was in February 2022. So anyway, and then obviously there's Mister, and Mister has been an absolute monster. I'm not sure what we have on Power Play still. When this had the Red Dog reversal here and we were buying the 210 calls, everyone's like, oh, Red Dog, you and Sailor, you and this, you and that. I'm like, nothing to do with Sailor. Granted, guys, rich billionaire now, and good for him. I love guys that take a he took a stab. He said, I am not doing software anymore. I'm just going to buy Bitcoin and become a Bitcoin holding company and just be a full-fledged advocate and get believers. And if you believed in sale, you believed in Bitcoin, you're probably a very happy guy. Anyway, what a move. And technically it follows my rules, right? Above the 8-day, above the 21-day moving average the entire time. Buy dip, stay with it. Could have definitely been done. But anyway, let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world real quick. Let's see who's hanging in here. You guys are probably on YouTube. You could see the right side, right? We got Scotty Gids. What up, Red Dog? Big week. We got It's in the house. We got Trader 123. We got Hayden Martin. What's up, Rising Ground? I love it. What's up, Space Specialist? Looks like you're making some money this morning. That's good. We got Jim Nelson. What up? Good morning. Plan for rolling Mara. It's probably a good idea. I did sell some into that strength yesterday. What I've been doing is the first time I bought Mara when no one was really looking at it, I sold some strength, and then I was able to, on the dip, roll it higher and keep having less risk but staying with it. That's what rolling means. Anyway, with that being said, there's a lot going on here. So the funny thing is, people like Red Dog, you're not really trading. I haven't heard you say NVIDIA in the last week or two. I'm like, because NVIDIA is not where the action's been. The action's been in, the smaller nuclear module names. And I had 3 different sets of options for this that people made money with yesterday. This SMR, holy cow. Started playing it right around here. I was a little late. Then it had a quick move. It built this bull flag. I was buying the 21s, the 23s, the 27s. And yesterday I probably sold it down to 25%. And then this one was really the one. Okay, I had no idea what the hell this thing was a month and a half ago until someone from the Alpha team brought it to my attention saying, listen, Red Dog, nuclear and the grid and this and that. And, I played it here and I was like, I was ready to be done with it. And then all of a sudden right in here, when there was news from Google or was it Google? Was it Amazon? I don't remember exactly who it was, but the bottom line is, we added a ton through here. And then I went to here, and then all of a sudden, guys like Red Dog, there's January option sweepers out there. You have to use all your resources. Like, what do you mean? Like, there are guys buying the $27 and $30 calls. I'm like, that's interesting. So I guess if it gets above 1880, why can't that happen? So anyway, made money into that. And then into this down move, I was then buying 20. What was it? I was buying here. You could see on the virtual trading floor, the position. So in Oakland, I was buying the November 15 24s that I have overnight. I'm down to 25%. I was buying the 27s for January, the 20s for this week. So I bought 3 different sets besides, everything else we're kind of holding. And what a nice move. So these 3 names, including NNE even, which was the problem child because they had to raise money. That's the problem with these things. Sometimes you got to be careful. They go out really strong and they get squeezed and then decide to do a money raise and you got to sit through for a while. That's what kind of happened here. So anyway, that was there. Now it's repairing. So, it's good when you could, be like a little sports car and move around between the different sectors. Now, if you move into what's going to be going on starting today, you have Google and AMD after the close. Last night, by the way, I gave 2 different plans for just to show you how I don't do everything. FFIV, a friend of mine who's a sales trader, is like, I like it. Could you give me, a play for it? So I listed a really nice play for it. I didn't play it. I'm like, it's a strong name. It's holding up here. It's got to get above 224. I would do a 225 by 235 call spread. And guess what? I didn't do it. I was too busy. That would have been like 300%. And anyway, can't kiss all the babies. The problem with earnings season is like you pick and choose which ones you want to go with, and some work, some don't. So I am in Google, but you know what? The funny thing is I bought it well. I bought options into this down move. So into this move, I've already been able to trim some, so I have less risk. We'll see what happens here if it gets above 169. Some guys, were talking about how they're taking profits on Google. I'm like, how are you taking profits on Google? From when? It's been in this stupid range, annoying the hell out of everybody, literally for for months. So anyway, what's Google doing this morning? Before I looked, it was up a little bit. It's up 83 cents, not a whole lot. So, unless this thing has a move up, I'm just going to hold straight calls and not a call spread. I also bought AMD right. Sometimes it's good to look to get in earlier for like a pre-earnings move, and sometimes it's not. So let me give you an example on why this one was good and the other one wasn't. So I bought, AMD options into here, the 162s and the 165s. You could see it. That's, again, the luxury of being on the alpha team. the AMD options. I actually rolled. I got out of the other ones. I still have. Where are they? Where are they? The 165s for this Friday. I had the 162 halves that were almost a double pre-move. Like I didn't even have to hold it for the earnings. I already made 50% on those, so I rolled them into the 165s. Right now AMD's up a bunch. So what I'm probably going to do with AMD is I might just create a call spread and just not be, it's right now 160, 170. So I might just sell the 175s and have a call spread on for now through Friday in case it's good. So those are the two that I have on for today. Besides, trading. And then you have, so many more earnings, Meta, Dash, Amazon, Apple. That's further down the road. Sell Dodge. To be honest, I'm not playing any of these, altcoins. The last time Bitcoin had a huge move, I was really involved in the altcoins and trading the market, and 200,000 public member Twitter followers. I have 500 Alpha team members. I have 1,000 Redler all access. I have you've got. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I made a lot of money in the altcoins, and then I kept the third on most of them, and they all dropped 95%. And and then you think something dropped 50%, you could buy it, and it drops another 40%. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna tell people to be an asset allocator. If you're an asset allocator, just like those who buy physical gold and silver every single month, you could probably do the same thing with Bitcoin, or you could trade it using my rules. And I've been in this IBIT, which is a great ETF for it. It's BlackRock's. Right here is when I sent out the turkey trot, and it's had a nice move. And I already trimmed a little bit this morning because that's what I do. I trim a little bit. So if someone's like, "Hey, Red Dog, how could we watch?" So you see Bitcoin, you see like IBIT I had overnight. Okay, I've already trimmed a little bit. So now if I trim a little bit more, you'll see it flash red. So that's when they know how I'm reducing my position from overnight. So now it should, right, boom, just like that. I'm sitting here in Short Hills in my little vest and drinking my iced coffee. You could be in a basement. You could be on the desk of Goldman Sachs, and you can see what Red Dog's doing. In the virtual trading floor. But anyway, someone asked me that question. So, but that doesn't mean I'm allowed to trim into some strength, right? I was like, Red Dog, it's going to 85,000. I'm like, I get it, but I have to net money. Okay, the way I get paid is quarterly, not monthly. Besides being a founding partner here. So anyway, that's that. So Tesla. So this is what I'm doing with Tesla. I'll give you my strategy with Tesla because so far it's been fantastic. So Tesla, everyone knows I bought the 240 calls for earnings. Kichingo. That day that it opened up, I sold a bunch of them and I created a call spread, the 240s by 275s for November 8th to hold. We also bought the stock as a power play, because here's your pro earnings gap. So what happened yesterday? A little Red Dog reversal. So if you had a lot of size, it was your day to sell some at 269 after going to 273 and coming down. That would have saved you some money if you were actively manage this. So now people are like, well, Red Dog, how are you gonna refigure this? I'm like, well, I'm hoping it's 10/29. We have a week or so to the election. If it could get if it could come down a little further towards 255, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to sell puts, which I started selling a little puts yesterday to take in premium. And what I'll probably do is I'll buy the 280s, okay, for November 8th, which hopefully we have a president. If it happens to be Trump, Elon's been an outspoken Trump guy. I'll buy the 280. So the first thing I bought yesterday, they were $6. So if we come down to 255, maybe there'll be 4. And I do think if we have a president and it is Trump, chances are you go to the weekly, it could be quick. I think that it can get towards this 300 area. So then that would be a $20 option that I'm going to hopefully pay $4 or $5 for, but risk is premium paid. If something happens and he doesn't win and it's the Kamala administration, all I'm going to have on his options because it's a binary event and risk is premium paid. So that's my thoughts with Tesla. Anyway, with that being said, I'm not saying who I think is going to win or lose or who I'm supporting. Everyone knows my mentality. I like to be in the middle. I don't like the far left. I don't like the far right. I like common sense in the middle, but I also like strong borders. I like free enterprise. I like capitalism. I love the friggin' police that work the Cajonis off for us. I love the armed. So thank you for your service. So you know who I probably support. And I don't think everyone gets a trophy, but I donate a lot of money to charity, and I'd rather be able to give it myself versus being taxed over 50% and letting the government, do what they want to do with it. And who knows how all these people in the government literally are worth $100 million when they get paid $250,000 a year, maybe. Anyway, with that said, let's move on. So, here are the spies. The spies have not been, so awesome, meaning like, it's opened up every day. What's been awesome about it, you can hedge. So what I've been doing is I've been selling premium into strength, and that's been a way for me to take in some money while, it's hanging out here. And the spies have been literally just hanging out in this zone. And, we'll see what happens next. Like all strength was sold. Some people are like, hey, Red Dog, is this a rising, an ascending channel that might break? I'm like, hey, that could happen, and if it breaks, then you have this end of it. But for now, it's just going sideways, digesting quite a big move as we wait for big earnings starting today, which is going to be Google and AMD. We'll see what they do, and I'll see how I'll manage it. And by the way, I appreciate all you guys. And what the hell's the matter with these Yankee bats? What's freaking going on there? Come on, the Bronx Bombers are the Bronx. I don't even want to say it. But anyway, don't get swept, guys. Have some pride. Anyway, so here you go. What's the spies doing now this morning? Spies are, down 3 cents. So obviously trading the indices is not the way to go right now. But as long as the indices are going sideways, we could look for the relative strength, relative weakness, and go where the action is. That's our job. I appreciate you. I'll see you during the day.